You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce, but have you had them covered in sauce? Wendy's new saucy nugs take the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turn them up to 11. Choose between flavors like buffalo or honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker out there, you can try spicy ghost pepper only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. Listen, I'm going to dare you to do it. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs that you already love. Pick a flavor. Grab some extra napkins and then grab a few more napkins and prepare to nug like you've never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
What's up, Cal fans? We are back with another episode of the California Golden Bearcast, special edition, Golden Tweets. Rob, are you nervous for your moment? Because your moment is here. Round 3, can he do it?
You've got mail.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
I'm getting better. It's like, because we're doing it every week, I'm getting better.
3 for 3. Goodness. Now that's a streak. That's a streak, some may say. 3-0. Cal's 3-0. Rob's 3-0 on his You've Got Mail impression. This is, of course, the segment where we read some tweets that are sent our way, some emails that come into our Gmail account, or carrier pigeon notes, or even potentially in-person feedback that we get from fans that we see during game day.
On
but
game day, yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go into all of that. However,
no.
What do we got today?
There's a place I want to start. We have 7 tweets at us and an email, but there's another place I want to start, Andy, and that is the explosion of the Cal burner community in the Twitter Spaces and the overall algorithm of college football social media. Like, you're not on social media anymore, but I did send you a couple of those tweets. I did send you a couple of the videos, like Jessica Smetana and Mike Golick Jr. talking about the Calgorithm and if they've seen the memes and the explosion. We're getting tweets left and right now, right? Like Kyle Bonagura of ESPN, tweeting today, like he's thoroughly enjoyed it. Stuart Mandel of the Athletic, saying that he wants more of the Calgorithm and the Cal memes, guys leaning fully into the woke mind virus and the leftist mentality, and like the pictures of Jordan Hare Stadium saying it's property of Antifa, burners calling Doak Walker Stadium of Florida State now woke Walker Stadium. Like, it's just it's insane to see, and how much we also made it onto a tabloid today. The Daily Mail in England wrote an entire article about Cal Golden Bears, like memery. Like, it's just an entire article in the Daily Mail today.
What?
Like, it's incredible, like where we've gotten and like how much people are having fun. I see tweets all the time now saying like we didn't know Cal Twitter existed. We were thoroughly enjoying all of it. Like, you don't want the ire of the Cal Twitter community because we will meme you to death. It's been a week. It's been absolutely outstanding. And so my question to you, Andy, because you're not in all this, as a third party perspective, does it surprise you at this point that we've hit the mainstream after all these years? Is it weird that it's this season and then this moment right now when Cal football is at a precipice and a turning point that we've entered into the mainstream of Cal, or of college football Twitter and just humor?
Well, let me say this. Wow, I am reading this Daily Mail article, and
how insane is that?
Is crazy.
You're getting to see some of the memes, those memes, for the first time too, huh? Because they have screenshots in there of these memes, and some of them are really great. They're really good.
Oh my goodness, dude. This is absurd.
This is Andy finding out in real time. This is hilarious.
I love the AI bears hopping
Yeah.
off the plane with
Yeah.
critical race theory. That is unbelievable. Hey, look at that. It's Alpha. Alpha
Yeah.
1906.
Yeah, we know most of these accounts. You've seen most of these accounts.
California man is coming and he's bringing pronouns. Wow, this is outrageous. How is this in the Daily Mail?
That's what I mean. It's a tabloid. Like, I don't get how we made it into a tabloid.
So originally what I was going to say was that I remember Avi was pretty good at I remember when he was on ESPN for his tweet about a toaster,
Yeah.
Klay
Well,
Thompson's toaster
yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and Kyrie. I still was like not even all that cued into like exactly what I was talking about, but so I do feel like there is some precedent for it where we've seen Avi have some success in getting picked up nationally, just because there's a lot of smart, really creative people that do go to this university. In this capacity, though, and frequency, I'm with you. I mean, I think last week we said it was this new wave of young talent, right? We're saying this is our recruiting class. 10 years, 15 years of suffering. Now everybody's ready for their moment. But I woke back mountain.
Yeah, that one's great.
Oski beat a straight Seminole Cal Twitter. Governor Ron DeSantis. Great. Okay. Oski the Bear, a straight Seminole, Cal Twitter, and Ron DeSantis, all-star in Wokeback Mountain. There we go. Woo! All right, I'm gonna get in trouble if I keep reading some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I still my favorite thing is that the burner community, it's just a bunch of people who go to Burning Man that are Cal fans. Yeah, it's been weird for me in the sense of like I had people send it to me, and then I had a thread that is from a past place that I worked that is a thread that was started for Marvel movies, and we have all stayed in touch. One of us work at that company. Nobody else works there. And I don't think I told you this. Maybe
No.
I have. And I'm on this thread, and my name in WhatsApp is Cal Bears because I, for some reason, just decided that I was tired of having my real name places. So I just changed it to Cal Bears. And I ended up getting a message from one of my past colleagues, or we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, by the way, I thought this was funny, and this appeared, Cal Bears. I thought this was funny, and it appeared on my Twitter." And it was Terrence. And she posts this tweet, and I think it was the property of Antifa one or something like that. It was so funny though, because I just responded. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Terrence." Like, I didn't even know, I was just like, "Oh yeah, like I know that guy." Like, so it's kind of it's nice being on the outside of it, because there's certainly other places in my life where it's kind of blowing up, and then people are coming to me being like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like no, but I know who all these people are, and it's crazy that they're getting all this and well-deserved love. Like, I think that's the thing is we've long known that this fan base is unique and passionate, and I think that this is just an amazing recognition of that, and it just shows like the true specialness of if we do make a run that starts to become even like truly special, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, that type of stuff. I think there's just going to be a wave of people around the country that are going to get exposed to a group of people that are not only just passionate about their team, but like they're also willing to like make fun of themselves and just like have a good time. And so much I think of sports has evolved into this world of like I'm literally wow, I'm gonna go deep here. I'm gonna go like Dabo and saying like expectations, right? We became a program of expectations versus a program of appreciation. I think something along those lines. And I think like Cal is firmly in the world of appreciation and gratitude. Like we don't have any expectations, so in some ways we can't lose. And so if we keep presenting ourselves with that sort of mindset, that's like uh, friendly and funny and not overly aggressive, especially knowing that the rest of the country, good Lord, like everything is aggressive these days. I think it creates this really unique pocket. And I hate to compare it to anything else, but I do remember that the 2010 Giants felt very, very similar to me because there were no expectations. It was, 53 years or 56 years or whatever of no World Series championships, of getting so close and having it taken away. And I think Cal is like very similar to me in that regard. We talked about it last week. It's like, what would the budget be if Cal made it to the college football playoff? Like unlimited. I mean, unlimited, right? Like it sounds ridiculous. Like I'm not going to spend $100,000 in the game, but there's that's how much it means.
Yeah.
And I think those moments in time, especially in college football, have been far and few between because, as we talked about before, it was even at 3-0 last year, no one would be talking about Cal in a playoff. But because of the new structure, you are talking about that. And it does elevate our program quite a bit because we have an 8% chance. And we're saying we have an 8% chance. There's 60 other teams that don't have any percent chance. So I think that's like really, it's a very cool moment in time. And so maybe that's elevating because there. I mean, Fleming said it. There's like, Fleming said it unprompted or I think he said it prompted, but it was in an interview about the Giants. And who was it? Steiny or somebody, 95.7 was like, yeah, what about those Cal Bears? They'd have like an 8% chance of making the college football playoff. And there's like people I will tell that to them, they're like, 8%. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that's the difference because it wouldn't have been 8% last year. There's no way. You'd be talking about the same top four teams, Texas, Georgia, Bama, whatever, add in your fourth team. You're like, cool, it's cute that Cal is 3-0, but there's still absolutely no chance whatsoever for them to actually get into the playoff. But now with 12 teams, all of a sudden, there's a whole different dialogue that exists. So I have to imagine that it's actually created a world in which the media can care more than they've cared in the past because of the fact that that path seems more viable than it ever has.
Such a good analysis of the situation from a man who's not even on Twitter. Absolutely stellar. Stellar. All right, let's get through this. We got 7 golden tweets and we got 1 email. I'm going to do the email last because the email is very, very interesting and fun. All right.
Cool.
We'll start with the tweets. First one from Sid, who I saw on the field. She had field passes, so she was on the field. I got to hang out with her for a little bit.
Where was she at the tailgate?
She did not come to the tailgate.
Wow.
I mean, she had field passes, so why wouldn't you go enjoy the field? Yeah. Anyways, she said that first half had me thinking how typical. Overall, just happy that we got the dub, except I'm still upset over the targeting call. What did you both think about all the penalties? How do we clean it up? Also, Andy, need to discuss the sighting downtown. Laughing emoji. She did mention that. She mentioned that to me in person too. She's like, I need to see him. And she's like, maybe I do need to drop by the tailgate in Miami because I need to see him and talk about if you actually saw her or not.
I'm like positive. I'm so positive. The targeting stuff we talked about in the last pod. I don't know what's up, what's down, and it's so annoying. It's just sort of this gray area of interpretation, and it just doesn't seem like even the announcers don't have any idea. And I think it's just bad for the sport. And I wish they would get it right because I support as much as anybody. Like, please save people from these concussions.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, I think Cal will clean it up. The other thing I'll say too is like it's hard to keep your composure when your opponent is getting flagged 13 times and a half. Like it's just hard. Like it just seems unserious, right? Like you're like, dude, you guys are literally getting flagged on every single play. Like, is this a joke? Like, and so it's easy to kind of let your guard down a little bit and let your level slip. And I think we did a good job of not doing that. First half, obviously, we left a lot on the table, but second half again, really clean, good adjustments, and yeah, I feel like we will see a cleaner game against Florida State, and I'm hoping that the ACC refs are as friendly to us as they were in the Auburn game.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think cleaning up is easier to do. There's a lot of penalties, procedural penalties that's easy to clean up. But the other stuff, it's just sometimes the refs call them, sometimes they don't. Like there's not a lot that we can do about those types of calls. Next one from Callie Scotty. Sloppy game, but a win. Hopefully we clean up the execution for FSU. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Thoughts on offensive line play? Pass protection is very suspect. Offensive line starting to gel, or SDSU defensive front weak? He also has 2 more questions, but we'll go with that one first.
Light it.
There's only one place you can hear a 3-time national championship winning head coach,
A Heisman Trophy winning running back and national champion.
and someone to keep everything on the tracks. Every week, Coach Urban Meyer, running back Mark Ingram, and me, Rob Stone, get into what matters most to you.
We take you inside the biggest moments in college football.
while having some fun bringing you guests from all over sports and entertainment.
Watch Triple Option on YouTube or listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
SDSU defensive front is probably a bit weak, but they did exactly what we said on this pod. Not that like we predicted or anything, but we did talk about this concept that Auburn had essentially said, hey, if we can just throw pressure at Cal, they don't know how to handle it. I think at the beginning of that game, we saw San Diego State throwing a ton of pressure, and we didn't do a good job of handling it. And then we made some adjustments. Obviously, on the ground, we did really, really well. Pass protection is a thing. Like Fernando holds on to the ball really long is also a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to make faster decisions in the pocket, whether or not that means like getting out of the pocket or, there's a lot. There's some of that's there as well. But there's sometimes when someone is free and he is just getting absolutely destroyed, and we can't continue to have him take shots like that. It's just not good recipe for success. But yeah, I agree. I think we talked about like cleaning things up from a penalty standpoint, but I just am not worried about the O-line. I think that these 3 games have been really helpful for this unit, and like we would have given our left arm to have an O-line that was this developed at this point in the season in the past 5 years. So yeah, it hasn't been pretty across the board. I think for the Davis game where pass protection looks really good, and then you go to Auburn, or like the first half of Auburn where pass protection is amazing, right? Like pass protection was ridiculous in the first half against Auburn, and then completely goes away in the second half. But there's enough there from a potential standpoint that I actually think you like, and then you also look at the way that we're rotating guys into a bunch of different positions. Again, I'll just say it over and over and over again, but like this is the Greatwood method, and we're executing that really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the only thing I would add to that is just, Scotty does mention this thing of O-line starting to gel. There's a bunch of guys on the O-line that are out that probably would have started. So this group in particular in the rotation, they're learning to play with each other as the season progresses. And let's hope that, maybe we see that step forward against Florida State, or certain guys come back against Florida State, namely guys like Vadakani or Will McDonald. Who knows? We won't know until kickoff. But I think, once we get those bodies back, once guys are into the spots of the rotation that they thought that they would be in, at the start of fall camp, I think that will start to help gel this O-line a bit better moving forward. 2 more questions from Scotty. He says, Pac-6, quote unquote, state conference. Do you like the additions for OSU and Washington State?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm a huge fan of what they're doing, and I think it should be said for anybody out there, like Cal's not coming back, so we're locked in on the grant of rights. There's an article out today about the ACC trying to work with Florida State and Clemson to keep them in the conference and do a disproportionate, revenue model.
Yeah.
And then potentially shortening the grant of rights. So there's a lot of stuff that's still going to happen. But as far as we're concerned, we're locked in with the ACC. But I'm just so happy that like Oregon State and Washington State are going to stay in the Premier League, if you will. As everyone relates it back to, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. I just watched Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
But I think that, and as far as relegation, I think that they have very much, like, as long as they add another 2, which like I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to do that. They have a ton of funding, $100 million in the bank. It's pretty cool. And also, like, the commissioner for the Pac-6 is a Cal grad.
Yep.
Not for nothing.
Yep, not for nothing. Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think it was the right move to make for the Pac-6 to continue, or the Pac-12 to continue. We'll see if they continue to develop it, and I think you're right. They need 2 more teams to maintain theirs by the end of next season to qualify to stay in the college football playoff in the automatic bid. So, last one from Cali Scotty's Coach of the Week. Do you have any other teams that you might look at and be like, that's Coach of the Week?
Coach of the Week, like an opponent, like in another coach?
Like another team.
What about you, Rob?
I think I'd probably say Syracuse. I didn't think Syracuse was going to be this good. He did. He had a comment about Kyle McCord and how he wanted to send a bottle of champagne over to Ohio State, to Ryan Day, for giving them Kyle McCord. And so far, he's looked the real deal out of the transfer quarterbacks. So
I'm trying to think like what other games that I watched. And it wasn't
actually the other one I would probably name is Indiana's head coach. I don't know who Indiana's head coach is, but they
whooped UCLA.
They whipped UCLA this week. They had 700 yards of offense the week before, so they're on to something. And that's Mendoza's little brother, who is the 3rd string quarterback at that school.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
We don't know his name, but
We
the
don't know
Indiana coach.
Yeah. Oh, side note is Mendoza's dad and Jack Endries' dad came by the tailgate and they hung out with us for a little bit. I saw Mendoza's, and I told them all about the Malort. Mendoza's dad was like, I'm past the age of doing shots. So he's like, you guys can do it. And then as I'm leaving the stadium, I saw both of them again, and where they wait for the players exit. And I looked at Mendoza's dad and I was like, Malort's 9-0 now. And he looks at me, he goes, you guys got to keep drinking it. Great moment.
By the way, it's Cignetti is the coach at Indiana.
That's right, Cignetti.
And that was the guy that built up James Madison.
Yeah. So, yeah. Our dear friend Ben is having a great time because he's a Cal undergrad and a Indiana grad school. So, all right, a couple more here. First one from Shavit. Andy, you're one of our friends of the pod. You love Shavit and his questions. Overall, ? Can't complain about a win. I saw really good adjustments by Blesh & Co. Really disappointing decision to take a timeout after an iffy first down spot in our favor. We weren't ready because the helmet comms isn't good enough. We'll take the W though. Go Bears.
Go Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about it in the previous pod. Just like, I get that some people are going to say it's not good enough, but it's like, I think I can say there's honestly no way that they thought that was going to go to review if they called a timeout due to their helmet comms not working.
I think if I'm playing devil's advocate there, I think that his point is a good one, which is like, that's not an acceptable. Like, I think it was close enough. I remember at least being there. I was like, oh, I didn't actually think we got that. So I think like I could see it well enough in person that I remember thinking that like we should be running fast to get that next play off.
Yeah.
And so I do think there is a world in which you're like, even if the helmet comes, like, come on, do we not have some sort of signal from the sideline? Run the ball. Run the ball.
That's not how that works. Absolutely not how that works. But yeah, because
but I mean, I do think it's like you got to understand the situation there, and if it was against in a bigger game, I think people would have a right to be upset about it because. But again, like also just like let's be honest, those freaking screens at our stadium are so small. They
Yeah.
are so small. You need binoculars to see what's going on. And even then, sometimes instead of showing the replay on full screen, they split it into 4 tinier screens, or better yet, 6 or 8 tinier screens. So then you have to use extra strength binoculars to
Yeah.
be able to see.
Yeah.
So I think you did a really good job of sort of defending the thought process behind it because it makes sense, and it's important to remember, like, in real time these decisions are made. It's not with even at home when you're watching that you get one replay that's completely different than what's happening in the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I explained it on one of the Right for Cal posts in the comments, but I'm like, just think of this timeline and walk through me here and see if this is not viable, right? Ball gets placed, 40-second play clock starts, right? Clock's winding down, it starts to tick. First thing you do is you make a personnel switch. So guys are coming off the field, guys are coming onto the field to make some personnel changes. Guys go onto the field, they huddle, then the radio comm goes in. Let's say Blesh is making the call, right? So let's say he makes the call on the radio. Mendoza is like in the huddle, but he's like waiting for the call, but he's not hearing anything. So he, maybe takes a second, then like peeks over at Blesh, and then Blesh thinks he's already sent in the play call. Mendoza can't hear anything, so he's waiting to see if Blesh is like going to give him the call. And then they have this, this thing of like, what are you saying anything? Or are you not? And then the clock just starts to keeps ticking, right? So by that, in my opinion, by that point, it's like, because the comms also cut out at 15 seconds.
Mm.
So like if it got to that point of that 15-second mark where they're not even sure if the comms worked or not, because that's at the point where the comms were supposed to be cut anyways, then it's like then Blesh is looking at the huddle. They're not even going into formation, and then they're just like, what? Like I can't hear anything. And then they called timeout, I think, with like 8 or 7 seconds left in the play clock.
That's where you implement my strategy, and
like,
you just have
run the
Blesh
ball.
go run, tush push.
There's no you tush push on first down. That's the worst play call of all time.
Would have gotten us the first down though.
Oh my god. No, we already had the first down.
No, they took it back. So if you get the playoff, you get the fresh set of downs.
Wait, no, that would have been second down.
I know.
That's not a fresh set of downs then. You would have wasted a down on a tush push.
Oh no, I'm wasting that down. Yeah. I'm wasting the down.
Yeah.
I'm
So
wasting the down to get the second and third down play.
Never hire Andy as the offensive coordinator and game manager. Never do it. Okay, next one is from Anthony Barron. He says, keep it rolling, no letdown this week. Hopefully you get another win this next week. I think we're all in agreement there.
Yes, we are.
All right, Gerardo sends us a message, says, they played much better once I wasn't watching. Watched the first half from a baby shower, and then drive home and had my wife check the score on the way home. My former students were sending vids from the student section. Time to prove ourselves in the ACC. Go Bears.
Love it. That sounds very healthy, actually.
That sounds very similar to what you did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very similar. I brought my AirPods because I wanted to listen to music in, I forget what, like the walk from Claremont Hotel to the pregame area.
Sure.
So I was like, that's why I have my AirPods. So I did what I would promise I never do in Ubers and Lyfts, because I try to engage everybody, but I was just so tired. I was like, boop, threw the AirPods in,
Locked in.
had the game up, watched the whole thing. YouTube TV is amazing. I didn't miss anything. I mean, that's the crazy thing. It's like you can do that and you don't miss anything. But I know Nam's out there somewhere like cursing my name.
All right. Last one. Bears in 4 tweets at us, says, is this the end of card stunts?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I don't think it's the end. I think if anything, they'll give it one more go. But yeah, it feels like it's nearing the end for sure.
Should we sneak in the student section and see whose paper airplane can make it to the field?
Oh my god. If your paper airplane leads directly to a 15-yard penalty that directly results in a loss to Miami at home,
Oh my god.
you will never hear the end of it.
That will be amazing.
Much like the guy, who got arrested at Auburn because he rushed the field and tried to plant a Cal flag. Like
What?
Yeah, there was a Cal fan who rushed onto the field by himself and tried to plant a flag and got arrested.
After the game?
After the yeah. Right where I was standing too. I didn't notice it happened, but because I was taking pictures of our group, but apparently it happened in that same end zone that I was standing in.
Oh,
absolutely hilarious.
Goodness. That
Absolutely
is
hilarious.
not that's like one of those you're like, this is the greatest night of my life. Never mind. Nope.
I'm gonna live forever. I should get tackled by the Alabama County Sheriff.
That Alabama jail cell could not have been good.
Yeah.
No way.
Yep. Nope.
No way.
All right. Well, that's it for the Twitter parts of it. Do you want me to read you this email that I got this morning, 15 hours ago?
Yeah, bring it home.
Dude, this is stellar, man. So this guy is Jake Botel. Okay, that's his name. He is an Aussie Golden Bears bandwagon fan. That was the title of the email that he sent me. Well, actually, let me read let me try and get the full title. Oh, it is an Aussie Golden Bears bandwagon fan. ... He says, "Hey lads, my name is Jake. I'm an Australian football fan who has no fixed loyalty in the college game, preferring to just organically pick a team that appeals each year and ride with them. In the past, I've enjoyed cheering for Clemson, LSU, TCU, and West Virginia, and this year I've added the Cal Golden Bears to my roster of pet teams after watching the win over Auburn. Got onto your podcast soon after to try and learn what I can about the team and what expectations we're heading into the season, etc. Love the show. We'll be listening along in 2024. Here's to giving FSU a comical thumping this weekend. Quick question. If I was looking to educate myself on the team's history by watching some full game replays, what are 2 to 3 games from the 90s to now that stand out as the significant cornerstones of Cal Golden Bears football? I'll hunt them down on YouTube and indoctrinate myself. Keep up the great work, Jake from Down Under."
Wow.
How awesome is that?
It's so cool. I immediately have a reaction to the recommendation is that like we did a series during the pandemic where we would go back and pick specific games that were absolutely like pivotal games in the history of this program. And then we did a debrief pod on them as if they were real games. And we did that about the 07 Oregon game, I believe.
No, 07 Tennessee. 07 Tennessee.
07 Tennessee?
07 Tennessee was the first one we did.
I think we also did 07 Oregon.
We might have done 07 Oregon. I think we did 09 Big Game.
09 Big Game. Did we do the 2003 SC?
Yeah, we did 2003 SC. So, I mean, those are the easy ones off the top of my head. I think...
And also of our era. Like, it's important to say, because I think if you talk to someone that has been a little bit older, they're going to have games in the 90s that would stand out as well. But like from our era, and I really count that from like Jeff Tedford
on,
first year on.
Let's just go by let's give them a few, right? So let's go 2 to 3 games in the Tedford era, 2 to 3 games in the Dykes era, and 2 to 3 games in the early Wilcox era. All right. So I think Tedford for me would be 07 Tennessee. Just how iconic that game was. I think 2009 Big Game, absolutely huge. Mike Emo, game-ending touchdown. And then just a fun one I would throw in there with Tedford is 2012 UCLA.
2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because UCLA was ranked, we thought we had no shot in that one. And then Maynard and Allen have like the game of their lives.
Wow.
Just a fun one. Just a fun one I would throw in there. But
I would throw in like one of the Javid Best blowouts, like the Washington
UW
game where he ran for like 300 yards.
That's fun.
Just, you got to understand
how good he was.
how good Javid Best was.
Yeah.
That'd be, dude. The dice ones are amazing. So like, I gotta say, like the Texas game,
Which one? Both? 15 or 16?
the one at Texas,
The one at Texas, 15? Jared Goff?
the oh my god,
Yeah.
Jared Goff game.
Yeah.
That one was insane. I think you might have to say that the Washington State Cal game was that same year
At Washington State? Where we got a
6
special teams coordinator fired the day after?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what's like, I don't know.
I mean, another memorable win, I think, under Sonny was probably that Utah, like that goal line stand.
yeah.
That one's up there. Colorado on the field goal at the end of the game, overtime. But Matty
Maybe
Ice.
the Oregon Cal game where we finally, in the worst way possible, ended the 10-year.
Yeah, that was
decade
Justin Herbert's
long.
first game as an Oregon Duck starting quarterback. Yeah, that one.
Yep.
That's probably those are probably it. It's funny that we're going through this and we're like, we can't. There's not a lot of memorable Sonny Dyke ones outside of the Texas wins and the Florida.
Well, you almost
the
have to
Washington
write. Like I was gonna say, you could actually make a case for the Northwestern game at home, because then you would understand the excitement about that hire and
the
like
trajectory.
why that hire was made, and then Jared Goff's trajectory, and then and then you can see it sort of never reach its promise.
Yeah, the Texas game probably is like the this is what this offense looks like when it's firing on all cylinders,
and this is what this defense looks like always.
Yeah. And then lastly, I guess the Wilcox era. I think the first game against UNC at UNC, I think, was huge. I think that set the tone a little bit.
Okay.
If you want pure shenanigans, 2018 Cheez-It Bowl, just
you can't make anybody watch that. That's just got to be a lived experience.
Yeah.
I think I was going to say Washington State, the big game, the Smoke Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. That was when we knew
this is what the defense could be.
Yeah,
because that was a top 10 Washington State team coming into Berkeley on a Friday night. Freaky Friday, Friday the 13th. There was fire in the area, so the smoke was setting in, and we weren't sure if the game was going to go or not. But then the defense comes out and they just absolutely manhandles that offense.
It was unbelievable.
And then Ross Bowers has the flip over touchdown into the end zone too. That one. I mean, 2019 big game, like
and that has to be the third for sure, without a doubt. The Garbers run. I mean, yeah, that's it.
But big games, fun vibes though. Like 2021 big game was awesome just because we blew them out.
Yeah, but no, the
emotional experience of 2019 was just so much better.
I will never forget that run into the end zone.
Yeah,
where we were sitting.
Yeah, but those would be it. Jake, thanks for hopping on this bandwagon. It is good times. If you haven't had a chance to join the Cal Twitter community, go enjoy that. But if you have any other questions about the Bears and want us to talk to you about it and give you some more suggestions, let us know. Send us another email from down under. This was awesome. We're going worldwide, baby. We're going worldwide.
Global. Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for listening, everybody, and for the questions.
We do appreciate it. This makes our day. But that's it. Anything else, Andy, you want to end on? We good? All right. Well, that's it for Golden Tweets. On to Florida State, folks. We'll talk to you next week. And as always,
Go Bears.